Hey, AZ, how you doing? I'm a little bit early, but I thought, what the heck? I'm not just going to sit here in front of the computer and not do anything. So here we are. How's your day been going, AZ? I did two shifts today, and I went out, just came back a little while ago from doing a third shift. Came back and I found that for some reason, it didn't record. I didn't hit the record button. I must have double tapped it, and I hit record, and then I hit stop. So just getting old, you know. Hey, David. Dave Ennis, how you doing, Dave? Oh, you're on that other computer again. You're fuzzy, and your audio is not working. Dave, you might want to switch back to your phone.
Hi,
It's not working too good, Dave.
not working too good.
No,
Let me
the
change phones. Let me go
yeah.
back to my Apple phone.
Okay, sounds good. And
All
here
right.
comes Dominic.
Good evening,
Hey,
sirs.
Dominic, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. A little bit wrong button again. Uh, um, yeah, it's all right. A little bit windy and rainy today, which is a bit frustrating. This makes me feel frustrated. Other than that, how's your day been?
Well, it was like 50, 55 degrees. Was sunny,
About the same here, I think.
but there's as you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's sunny out.
Mm,
But I don't know how long it's going to stay that way.
yeah. Well, you're getting close to sunset, so you can see the sun setting and the
Yeah, the sun's going down. It's down. It's at the horizon right now.
yeah. So you're being golden hour by now.
Yep.
Best time to best time to photograph, personally. That's my personal preference. Golden hour is always the best.
Yeah, the sunlight keeps getting less and less and less every day. I think it goes until next month, doesn't it?
Yeah, 21st of December. So basically 5 weeks away.
Yeah. But it's gets less and less each day of loss of sunlight,
Yeah,
where in the middle of it expands faster, you know.
yeah.
Hey Dave, that's
Yeah.
much better.
I forget. I It's been a heck of a day. Not
Has it?
complaining. It's just been yeah. I had a uh, diabetes event last night, so I was up all night.
Mm.
Really?
It wasn't. It just got really low and
So you had a hypo.
a little bit. I mean, it could always be worse.
Yeah. I know
Oh
my
yeah,
brother's
that's what I
been
always tell
diabetic for
myself.
25
Even
years.
though I might hate the way it is, I have to tell myself could be worse.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah. It just got. I don't know. It
Not wanting
just.
to demean the situation, but yeah, it
Yeah,
can be worse.
yeah. I'm fine now. So
Well, you're above the ground and you're breathing, so that's a good start.
What's up, TJ?
that's what's required in my life.
That's a good start. That's
What's up,
always a good
David?
start. And you
TJ?
build on that one from there.
Tim, Edward.
Hey, Justin.
Hey,
Hey.
Justin's here.
Yeah, I popped in. I heard Dominic say something about golden showers. Didn't
Yeah,
understand what he was talking about.
definitely.
TJ.
And
Hey,
we've also got
TJ.
to remind everybody that Tim will be taking over from Matt on Friday night. So we've got to get
Yeah, we
everybody to go over there.
got to keep reminding
Oh,
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, here in
'Cause I
the
went back
States,
and
here in the States, that's about 7 o'clock PM Eastern time.
yeah.
What's up, David, Jonathan? How's it going?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, because I went back and watched that stream where you were
Hey,
talking about
Jonathan,
it,
David.
and I thought that was hilarious. The stream from
Oh,
Paul's stream
yeah.
from the other night.
Yeah, Matt was on there.
Yeah, drunk Matt. Hello, Jonathan.
And him and Laura were
Uh,
going back and forth again.
yeah, and the look on Jonathan's face occasionally when something funny would come up. So, especially when he played that thing about the dick,
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
everybody was looking, huh? And that is no joke. The New Zealanders do sound like that because I was watching the cricket last night, and it was New Zealand versus India. One of the commentators is New Zealand, and oh, you can't help but laugh. Sorry, I can't see the chat. Sorry about that. If if
What's up,
anything
Joe?
exciting happens, it'll be funny.
What's up, Joe? How's it going?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, Tim got off freaking early yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my
As
God,
I
it was
said, I
like,
was sitting there doing something. I was actually watching um that Paul Murray stream that we were talking about. I had I had a split screen. I had that in one screen. I was doing some other work in the other screen. It's video editing and a few graphics.
Hey,
And
Justin,
I looked back
Captain
and went,
Joe.
huh? Did you get the
Captain,
notification? I went, oh, what's going on here? I'm sitting in the middle of that bloody sky bridge.
oh,
So I thought, okay, I've just got to move myself so that there are no people in the background.
yeah, he did something
'Cause I
to
had,
his leg yesterday.
yeah,
who was
yeah, I
that?
keep getting a cramp.
Who
I
screwed up
keep
their
getting this cramp in my calf.
Who screwed up their leg yesterday? Did you?
Tim,
Have
No, so Tim was working and he slipped and something. He heard a loud pop in his leg and
Oh, not good.
it was hurting him last night and he was limping.
yeah,
Hey, Mr. Hodges.
Mr. Hodges.
What are you doing on so early?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's 2 minutes to 5.
Yeah,
You've
but
been on for at least you've been on for at least 5 minutes.
I got my supper here. I'm just gonna go dark and eat it.
Okay, go ahead.
You've been on for 6 minutes.
Dave had to work out his camera issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to remember.
The other phone, the other one.
Yeah. There's only two. You think I'd get it right?
Now, do you have a stand for that camera, or are you always looking? Is it always
I usually hold it. It's
okay?
I usually.
I
hold
thought you used to have a stand that went on.
I did.
Don't know what you did with it, huh?
No. No.
Oh, that was the stand that David got for you, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
So what's Dave going to the hospital for? AZ.
AZ's got to go to the hospital.
Yeah, not bad so far. Getting ready to go to the oh for that baby today, probably.
Oh yeah, today is Grandpa Day.
Oh, his
Oh, okay.
grandson, grandbaby today, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations, David.
yeah.
Wow.
Hope everybody's well.
Yeah, hope it all goes well.
Hey,
Dave-
TJ,
David's going to spoil the hell out of that grandbaby.
Mm.
Joe, TJ, Jonathan. Oh, did I miss anybody here? Guess not. That's about it.
Yeah. Hello to everybody I've missed.
And if anything,
Hi,
his wife
everybody.
is going to spoil the living hell out of
Captain
that kid.
Joe's in there.
Hey, Captain Joe, Jonathan, TJ,
Uh,
David, everyone.
Yep. And little Llama Laura. Hi, strange people.
Laura.
Hey,
If
Laura.
anything, I would say David's wife will probably spoil that baby more than he will. You know how grandmas are, man. They go nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they know already if it's boy, girl, or
I think it was a boy, right, David?
That's what I
Remember?
thought. He said before it was going to be a boy. Somebody to
boy.
fly drones with him.
Yeah.
yeah, name the kid drone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here goes how it's that. Go to sound.
Yeah, it's a boy.
Here's the
Okay.
boy. Go.
That means it's gonna be grandma's little boy.
Hmm.
Had an agent call me there about 3 o'clock, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Uh, when are you going to take that sign down over on Fox Hollow?
What's up, Tim?
He
I
said,
said hi to you.
Tim.
But anyway, say going, well, if you tell me to take it down, I would. You know, I haven't told you yet. No. People want it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you tell him you charge extra to be a mind reader?
Yeah, really.
Clairvoyancy comes at a price.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's one of the ones that forgets once in a while. That agent.
But is he pretty good to you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I said, I'm due for a coffee anyway, so I'll go get it right now.
Tim Jackson said he's waiting for the contractor. Is he waiting for the contractor or the doctor?
No, he's at work.
Oh, so he's working. Okay. I thought maybe he hurt his leg. You didn't go to
Nah,
work.
you strap it up, have a few painkillers, and you're ready to go.
There you go.
That's what I'd do.
I mean, if you can get your hands on painkillers, it's almost impossible anymore.
I don't
Yeah,
know
no.
how it is down in Australia.
It's pretty hard. I have a tough time getting a hold of really good painkillers.
Yeah, they here they don't write them for anything. And then there's a state law too down in Florida. If you're not somebody that's supposed to be on them like all the time, they're only allowed to write you up to a 3-day prescription anyway.
Hmm.
And you can't have anything more than that.
You can usually only have a box.
Right. And it's like you'll get like 2 per day or something like that. So you'll get
Yeah.
like 6 pills. Because doctors will write you a week's worth, but then when you go to the pharmacy, they won't fill it. Because
Yeah.
the pharmacist can actually override the prescription and only give you 3 days worth.
Hmm.
They did that to me one time. Pharmacist said, well, you don't have chronic pain. It's just acute pain or something like that. And he was like, I'm only going to give you 3 days worth, even though the doctor wrote a week's worth.
Yeah. Because I've had that trouble with my hip. I can't get anything stronger than what they call Panamax, which is 500 gram. What do you call that thing? 500 gram Panadol.
Oh, no, here, ibuprofen 800 is the cure-all for everything.
Yeah.
That's what they give you
Yeah,
for
I
every
tried
fucking
the
thing.
ibuprofen 800, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's crap.
Hey, Dave, are you on painkillers?
No, I refuse to take any.
Oh, you refuse them. Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. I was on them for 18 years, the opiates, and I took myself off of them and told my doctor, "Hey, I'm not going to do that anymore." And he said, "Thank you."
But you get to a point too where they don't even do anything for you anymore.
No, they
And then you
did
take
they
more
did
and more, and then it gets worse.
no, for the first 2 weeks when I had my spinal surgery, they did. After that, they didn't even put me to sleep. So I was like
Well,
18 years of throwing stuff away.
that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
And then people end up taking 2 instead of 1, and then it turns into 3 instead of 2, and then it just keeps. And then that's how a lot of
Yeah.
people overdosed and died from it,
Spiraling.
because they keep taking
Mm.
more and more to get that feeling, because their body gets more and more used to it.
Tim says in the chat, "Do you see what he put in there, Justin? He can barely stand up."
Or you need to go to the emergency room and at least get
Yeah,
something.
he needs to get it looked at, because the longer you wait, the worse it can get.
Well, at
Mm.
least here, the emergency rooms, they'll give you pain medication. They'll actually give you an opioid while you're at the hospital. They just won't give you nothing outside the hospital.
Yeah, I know.
But
'Cause
at
they
least
give you-
they'll help
I've
you
been
out
there,
for the
done
day.
that. They gave me one to get rid of the pain in my hip. And then when I
Tim
say,
says
"Oh,
he's in.
okay, where do I get that?" "Oh, no, we can only give it to you once."
Tim
I'm
has
going, "What
just
the
said in the chat that he's in constant pain. There isn't
Well, I
any
mean-
position he can get in that makes him feel any better.
That was the problem with everybody abusing it, though. And then when people really
Yeah.
need it, they don't want to give it to you,
exactly?"
because nobody's getting hooked on that shit after a week's worth. It's
Yeah.
usually 2-3 months worth, and then they start getting hooked on it real bad. Then it becomes an issue
Yeah,
from
but the
there.
trouble is it only
But
the
they won't
trouble is
even
it
give you a
only
week's
masks
worth.
it only masks the symptoms. It doesn't fix the pain.
Well,
That's
what
the
I'm
problem.
saying is they won't even give
I
you
know
a
what you mean.
week's worth if you need it, though. And that's not,
I-
nobody's going to get hooked after a week. It
I-
takes a couple months.
Yeah, I
consistent
understand where you're
use.
coming from.
Justin, did he say it was a work related injury? Did he get hurt at work?
As far as I know, yeah, he was at work. He said he was doing something at work and slipped.
Well, then there
He could get
that's,
compo.
yeah, he's sitting on a gold mine right now.
Well, you got to
He could
remember
get, he
too.
could get compo for that.
That's Dominic knows the laws over there. I don't know. We can't really say he does, because I don't know what the laws are over there, or how
Hmm.
their workman's comp, or if they even have that kind of shit.
We do. But I'm in a different ball game because I'm self-employed rather than working for someone. I'm working for someone. Work here would have a different
Oh my
different
God, Russell.
circumstances.
Well, he's working for a company, so
Well, the
And
only
he's working in Queensland. Queensland have different laws to Victoria. So to be work care Queensland rather than work care Victoria. So we're in different circumstances as well.
you
So
probably
you might want to
tore a
contact.
muscle, Tim, is what he did.
well, until he sees a doctor, though, he can't report specifically what happened to him during the injury.
He needs to go for scans.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I did.
the only thing is he has to have somebody take him home, because if you go to the hospital for that and they give him any kind of pain medication, he's not going to be allowed to drive home.
Drive, yeah.
He's going to have somebody take him home.
Either
give him a ride.
Uber or taxi or someone drive him.
They got Dial-A-Ride over there, don't they?
I don't know. I've pulled enough and torn enough muscles to know that
Dial-A-Ride.
usually the burning usually means you
You don't have
probably tore-
Dial-A-Ride over there, Dominic?
And we've got Uber and taxis.
Oh yeah, well it's called Dial-A-Ride. You call them up and they come right out and get you wherever you are.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's
it is
that's what we
like
call it.
it's the old cab company, but what it is, it's
Oh my
private
God, Russell.
individuals and private cars.
You're an
That
idiot,
sounds a
Russell.
lot
That's the
like
way.
Uber.
Russell said, I work for myself. I fired myself yesterday because I caught
Yeah.
myself scratching my balls.
Yeah. Mm.
I'd almost bet if he heard a loud pop and it's burning really bad and it's painful, he probably tore a muscle. I almost bet that's what it is. It's
Either
usually
tore
when
a muscle or a muscle where the muscle hits the joint causes the flexing or whatever.
Yeah, sort of like a
Yes.
bursitis.
Well,
Yeah.
usually when you tear a muscle really bad, you'll get that burning sensation.
Mm.
Huh.
Oh no,
I thought that's when you peed.
The burning when you
that's
pee.
another. Yeah, that's another
that-
situation.
that's from a
that's
really drunk.
completely.
Sorry.
That's what happens after a regretful night.
Yeah,
And 2 days later, your pee starts burning.
yeah.
Then you got to make that fateful phone call. Yeah, you might want to get checked.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Good evening, sir.
Hey, there's Captain Joe. How you doing, Captain?
Hey, Joe. And
Another day.
And there's
And
Chuck.
Hey, Joe.
Chuck was
Hey, Dave.
there. Now he's gone. He's in
Yeah.
he's in his wife's car again. So it goes.
Oh,
comes and
yeah.
goes.
Oh. It's like
That's
my
That's,
phone.
that's always the circumstance.
What's up,
Oh,
Chuck?
Yeah, he's back again.
Hey, Chuck.
Never works
Hey,
the first
Chuck.
time. Yo. Gotta kill my
Dave
cat.
Ennis says hello to you, Chuck.
I heard David. Oh, what a pretty sunset we're getting right now. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I can't share it. Because, I can't, but I would like to. It's very pretty.
Now, where are you headed? To pick up the wife?
I'm gonna grab Lori, and get home. How you guys doing?
Yeah,
How you
Thursday
guys?
morning here.
Joe,
Actually,
how's medically Joe doing?
Oh, I don't want to talk
Not
about
good.
it. Well, I'm tired now, and it's like I'm still having a little bit of pain. Last night, it started bothering me around 9 o'clock, so I said, okay, took a nitro. Within about a minute and a half, everything went away, went perfect. So then I said, okay, now the nitro's working, so that's telling me that is a heart issue, because what it did is it dilated the arteries, so it had more blood flow. So I've been feeling good all day. A little while ago, it started to hurt again, but then my stomach started to hurt, and that could be the Ozempic again. So it's like, here we go. It's
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Mm.
well, I tell you, I did the Ozempic again this week. The first time, I don't think I'm doing it again. I think I'm done with it.
Mm.
But I don't. I just, like I told my son, I said, take it easy today. I could take it easy tomorrow because I have nothing. I have a football game on Friday, and if it's still bothering me by Saturday, I'm going right back to the hospital and tell them, look,
Mhm.
figure it out.
Figure it
Figure it out
out.
now.
That's right. Yeah, you can't be living. This is what you call living on the edge.
not good.
now, you
Not
don't
good.
think it's a combination of your neighbor and the big blue pills, do you?
I don't need the blue pills.
Look at him. He's like, I don't need those damn pills.
What pills you talking about? I don't need any pills. God darn it.
That's
She
the
walks
best.
by and I feel it move.
That's the best recreational drug ever invented.
That's
That
what
shit
Howard
is
Hughes said.
Nothing
That
like
shit is
s-
fun.
Yeah,
Or
like
no,
nothing
Hugh
like
Hefner.
snorting Viagra. Yeah.
I don't
If
know
I
if you
ever-
want to snort the
If
shit.
I ever took one of
That's-
them blue pills, she'd probably not let me come back.
I don't know.
Mark says his sunset was 6 hours ago.
I had to make a
just-
joke for you
I've had
there.
a sunrise. So I'm wrong.
Well, Mark is 5 hours ahead, so I guess that's about right. Yeah, because I'm 5 hours behind him, and it's like pretty much over.
It's 11 hours for me.
I think I tore my
Yeah.
quad set. Still
Yeah,
think it was your
that's it.
hymen, Tim. That's
Nice
my
headlights, buddy.
opinion. Oh, Tim was getting pissed at me last night saying that. Oh,
What a dumbass. Got a guy rolling his great big, it's always a Dodge Ram pickup. Too
Yeah.
stupid to turn on his fucking headlights. Sorry.
No headlights on?
Black truck, no headlights, coming around the traffic circle. Good thing everybody's looking for the jackass, because not easy to see. Wow.
Oh, have you seen those, the car that they did that darkest black paint on? It absorbs light. And at nighttime, you couldn't see the fucking car at all.
Like it was invisible?
Like even when headlights would hit it, you couldn't see it because it was just it's considered like the darkest paint in the world, and it's all
Wow,
black and it absorbs light. It absorbs all the light that hits it.
black's already there, but that must be like true black, because like that's what black is. It basically absorbs all frequencies of light,
Like
all visible frequencies of light that we can see. Yeah, it's cool.
right, in this car they
So it must
painted
have
it.
not been glossy or anything. Couldn't be any gloss. It had to be like some kind of special flat. Like, wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and they
I'm
did
trying
they
to
did
envision how that's funny. Like, it's really what an oxymoron. I'm trying to envision how you could have like total black.
well, that's what I'm saying. It was a special design paint. They put it on a
Yeah,
car and they took it out at nighttime and you couldn't see
And
the
there's
damn
no
thing.
gloss.
There's no kind of
sounds
gloss,
military.
nothing.
Yeah.
It was crazy, this car,
Yeah, there
after they painted it.
can't be gloss.
What'd they
Well,
do? Paint every part of the truck too, the bumpers and everything?
I mean, everything but the headlights and the tail lights and stuff like a normal car. But just as much light as this paint absorbed, it made it almost dangerous driving it at nighttime.
Wow.
Because normally, like Dominic and Chuck said, black paint usually has a gloss to it, and when you run light across it, you'll see a nice shimmer at nighttime.
Crazy.
Mm.
My son had a dilemma last night while he was working. His sergeant pulled over a guy that worked for District 12 in Covington as a fire department, where my son used to be. And they called my son and said, is he still a fireman? Because he had a couple of problems and they were going to arrest him if he didn't. And he said, no, I think he got fired for having heroin on the job like that. So he made a call. He made a call to a friend of his, and the guy said, no, he couldn't even come back. We wouldn't let him come back. He's fired. So he went out to the scene and he started searching the car. They found weapon. They found Adderall 25 in a baggie with a scale. They found all kind of stuff in the car. The girlfriend had a warrant, and he didn't see Justin the whole time. So when they get to jail and everything, he had to arrest the girl. He arrested the girl. So he got the girl to jail, and he's there doing the paperwork. And his friend came in and looked over at Justin and just kind of put his head down. And Justin said, now I know why y'all figured out I wasn't in the fire department. And he walked up and said, dude, look, he said, no offense. He said, it's just my job now, like that. And he says, yeah, I understand like that. But he said it was the hardest thing, somebody he worked with, that he had to put in jail too last night.
Mm.
Moral of the story: don't do drugs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You don't do
sell
drugs. He was
drugs
just
or-
arrested for breaking in vehicles. And
Yeah,
Sure.
one after that.
he hadn't been convicted of it yet. They found a Slim Jim in the back. If he would have been convicted of it, he'd had another charge for that. So it was like he picked up
Possession
about
of-
4 felony charges last night.
in possession of burglary tools and shit like that.
Right.
Like, look how dark this fucking car is. Look at this.
Wow.
I don't trust you.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
take your
Oh
It's the
man.
middle of the day. And look, there's no
That
light.
almost looks fake.
Yeah, it
does,
looks like
but it-
somebody
Nice.
faked it.
But they actually
Almost
did
looks
done-
like a martial art.
They've actually done multiple cars with it though.
Yeah.
music is that.
But it's literally it's considered the world's largest or darkest car paint. There's a company that
Nice.
sells it. But like I said, it gets to the point where it's almost dangerous to drive it at night because of that.
Yeah.
Because you see in the middle of it, there's nothing reflecting off of it. It's just pitch black. Now imagine at nighttime with just some basic headlights shining on it. Because there was a guy that did a car wrap of it too. They had a car wrap with the same color, and he car wrapped the whole thing. Ooh, what's up, Donald?
That's the Sarnia Coast Guard right
Oh.
there headed upbound.
Oh,
Hey,
dude, I
guys.
saw your video of the hippie shop today. Well,
Hey,
good job.
Donald.
Did a good
Hippie
job
shop.
on it. Hey, he did his
Hippie
commercial.
shop.
I called it a hippie shop, but
Hippie.
It is kind of it is a hippie shop.
he did a good job on the commercial.
Let me go.
Superstar.
There we go. I was echoing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear echo on our side, so.
Oh,
I
it was
didn't hear
all
it either.
it was all in here. I had an open window in the background.
Okay then.
But no, you did a good job on that.
Thank you.
Looked really good.
It got paid. Well, it got invoiced. So
Yep.
I've had a pretty productive 2 days. I have completed 6 different commercials and getting ready to do a
Everybody seemed to be happy with him.
tag. So far, yeah.
All right.
Oh. Thanks.
You know, I don't want to make Donald's head too big, but he is very creative. It is in his channel name.
Now, Justin, did you watch the video I sent you earlier for Tim?
Oh no, I didn't know you sent me one. Hold
I
on.
sent-
I haven't checked my messages.
Yeah.
yet.
I found Tim on Facebook too, so I sent him a copy as well.
Well, Tim hurt himself at work today. He's in really
Oh, no.
bad pain. Like
That
Oh,
was
no.
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
Well, maybe Justin, maybe you can describe it, but
He slipped on some rocks at work and he heard a loud pop, and now he has a really bad pain in his leg and burning sensation, which I think he tore a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Just what I think he did.
and he went back to work like that today. He didn't go to the hospital.
Well, I mean, a torn muscle is really, he should have it go looked at regardless, but
Yes.
but a torn
Do
muscle, once he
scans.
gets there, the worst they're going to do is give him a pain medication because there's nothing you can really do for a torn muscle except for take it
No.
easy for a couple
Mm.
days.
Gotta
till it
rest
starts
it.
healing.
Depends upon
Grab
how
it
bad
tight.
it's torn.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's his ACL,
Well, the thing that bothers me, I can see if you tore the muscle or whatever, but he heard a pop.
yeah.
So that means something.
Yeah, he could have torn a muscle off the bone.
Yeah.
Now that's painful.
Mm-hmm.
You would
When
know
they done
that. I mean, you would know that.
Oh my God,
Mm.
that is hilarious.
Are
Oh,
you going to
well-
share it?
yeah, hold on. That was funny as shit. Hold on.
This
on.
is for Tim's stream Friday
Let
night
me make sure I'm sharing the sound. Hold on.
because he'll be doing a stream instead of Matt.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
we have to remind everybody every half an hour.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Really now.
All right. I'm going to start it. Hold on.
Okay.
Welcome to my random live.
We usually do lives with Matt. I'm the company.
All of a sudden, I want to be a woman. What the fuck?
Damn, bruh.
Well, that means that I'm going to have to put my teeth in. I'm going to have to shave,
That's why I'm trying to get really drunk.
brush your hair, and come on.
What a dickhead.
How you doing?
Take over. That's fucking hilarious.
I love it.
Ugh.
That is awesome.
Did you send that to Matt or no?
I haven't sent it to Matt. No,
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
have his
You don't have his email address.
If I send it to him, he should be able to download it through your thing, right?
absolutely.
Okay. I just sent it to him.
That was,
That's classic. That was good.
well, we know where to go to if we need intro videos then.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
be.
know, that first one's free.
Yeah. So the first intro is free, and then everything after that.
Reasonable.
I sent a link to
Not
Matt's
bad, just do it
Facebook
yourself,
if you want
man.
a friend request him.
Do it yourself.
Oh, I could never do anything that good.
Yeah, you could.
Not magical. Just journey you get.
I'll
that
put my
good.
mind to it.
Right.
I've always wanted to download some of the hilarious clips I've done on other streams. I must think
There you
about
go.
that.
Um,
Especially
could-
the one I was going to
Yeah.
say, especially the one with Don saying, if you want to look at, what was it?
bald.
If you want to see
C's.
waxing or something, you just look at your
No,
comment.
you guys are talking about waxing, and I said if you want to see
Yeah.
bald C's, just watch Dominic.
Yeah, yeah. That's got to be one of the funniest things I've seen on any stream recently.
Oh, yeah, Ken, that was priceless.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat's loving that.
Yeah.
Good.
So don't forget,
I'm
7 p.m.
gonna have Matt post
Eastern
that to his
Friday,
channel.
Tim's Takeover. Don't forget, Tim's Takeover.
I'll watch the restream.
Yeah.
That's
I
so the
hate to say it,
message-
but I'm sure hoping this is the last week of football.
Mm.
I told Matt, I said, you need to post this to your channel. For
Yep.
Friday.
Tim's Takeover.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I think Jonathan wants to see it again.
Closed panel.
Yeah, this playoff game, if they win it, like I said, they have to go up to Shreveport, Louisiana, Bossier City. And it's about 394 miles one way.
Yeah.
Tim wants to know if it's okay if he shares it on his channel as a short.
Yes, I made it for him.
Mm.
Oh, as a short, it's horizontal.
Won't
It
work
won't-
perfectly as a short
It won't post as a short if it's
because
unless
it's a wrong aspect ratio.
Uh-huh.
Well, I could change it in the thing and send it to him, but
Yeah.
It's still cut in the
Tim don't know how to do that.
ratio.
Though.
Yeah,
you
you
have
just
to
have-
actually
Yeah, you can
compress it.
shrink it down and throw it in.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you could post it as a short off your phone, but it's going to look like shit because it's going to
Yeah,
cut
because
half
you're
the
not,
video
it's
off.
compressed that way.
But if you
It'll
do it
be
from a
blown up.
computer, it has to be in that format. If you do it from
Yeah.
a computer,
I could rotate it 180 and export it so it'd be a short, but you'd have to turn your phone to the side.
Yeah.
oh man, that was that was classic. That's definitely going in the blackmail file.
Yeah.
Get it twisted. Matt has a blackmail file because you'll tell him, "Oh, what about that one video where Don said this or Dominic said that?" And he'll be like, "Oh yeah," he'll pulls it right up. So he's got
Yeah.
that shit alphabetized in a damn file somewhere on his computer.
Yeah, if you need me to rotate that and get it to you as a vertical version.
Should be able to mask it. It might be able to work.
Let me close my project here.
He's like, "Let me close my paid
Live on-
project to fix
Yeah,
Tim's."
I have a paid project going on here in the background, but let me.
Live on camera. Live editing.
What, Jonathan? Why are you thanking me for?
I might be able. Yeah, let me do this sequence as a vertical real quick here.
If it's for the video, I didn't make that. Donald did. I don't know if that's what
Donald.
you're thanking me for.
Yeah. Donald did it.
I was like Geeks Vana made some thumbnails of Tim that were pretty funny. It said, Tim must be stopped, and it had Tim.
Mm.
And the one time I've ever seen Geeks Vana break character on a show or break like his seriousness on a show,
Yeah.
he told Tim to get off his channel. He didn't want him to be a member of his channel. He started talking shit to Tim. It was hilarious. I gotta get a hold of Sean too. I ain't seen him the last few weeks in the chat over on our stream, Tim. See what he's been up to.
He did a members only video this morning, which I put on my watch list to watch this afternoon. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, if you post from your computer, Jonathan, it has to be in that format for YouTube to
9
pick
by
it up.
16, yeah.
If you post it from
9
your
by
phone,
16 and under a minute. But it's easier to do it from your phone because it automatically resizes it. But it resizes it and you lose all the aspect ratio though. But you can do it as a short and then push it to a longer video. You can put on the bottom, this is part of.
For my gaming footage, it really doesn't hurt it much just not putting it in the right aspect ratio. Because it doesn't really cut out the main part of the video, like it's just a little bit of the sides, but the main action of my character or my car, if I'm playing Rocket League, is all right there in the center. So it doesn't really hurt
you can
the
just
video.
keyframe that little bit.
Joe, so you have a football game you've got to do Friday?
Second round of the playoffs.
Okay.
But what I do, Jonathan, if you're not an extensive editor and you're really not doing all kinds of crazy shit with your videos, just take your videos and drop them into your phone, hook your phone to your computer, drag the file over, just drop it right into your phone, and then you can edit it right on your phone. So it's a lot easier if you're somebody that's not really doing a whole bunch of stuff. And Power Director has a free version on the App Store that works really well if you want to edit on your phone. You're just doing basic editing.
And you can use Lightcut, which is the DJI version. You can download that. And Lightcut is a very good mobile editor as well. And if you've got, and you can actually basically wirelessly transfer from the F3 straight to your phone. And then pick
is that a free app, Dominic?
Yeah. Yep. Lightcut.
Tim, are you talking about putting that up as a intro? Because I mean, we can upload it to the StreamYard in the intro portion of StreamYard,
in the brand section.
But you have to be you have to have a I think you have to pay for that though.
No, you can upload it in the free part.
Yeah.
Is it available in the free? That
Yeah.
part of it? Okay. Well, then I can help you do it.
Do what Matt does and play it as a video.
Yeah, but you do it that way and it doesn't come out as good.
I think it has to be under a certain size.
Yeah, I think it's 400 or 500 megabytes. It has to be
I think
under.
so.
But if anything, I can show you how to upload it. It's super easy. It takes like 2 seconds.
Go to the brand section, and then it says videos, and that's when you.
Yeah, you just click that little plus symbol, and then just find the file on your computer and click it, and it uploads automatically. But that's what I do, Jonathan. I just hook my phone to the computer. It comes up as a drive under all the drives. I just
Yeah.
go to my videos, I grab the video I want, and I just grab it and drag it over and drop it right into my phone and download it.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
Hey,
Pretty good.
Hey,
Hey,
Dale.
Dale, how you doing?
Yeah, my throat. It comes up as a drive under the drives.
Uh,
The videos, I grab the video I want, and I just grab. Oh, Dale, you got YouTube playing in the background.
Yeah, Paul, I was just looking at the brackets. If we win this week, we'll either go to Bossier City or south of Lafayette, Louisiana. So it's either a 4-hour drive, a 5-hour drive, or a 2.5-hour drive.
It's still a drive, though, isn't it?
Well, the Lafayette's not hard. That's the easy thing. Because it's like you get to Baton Rouge and you're in Lafayette. It's like it's not that hard to drive. That one up to Bossier City, you got to get to Lafayette, then you got another 200 something miles north. You go straight north.
Dale, you're on
But that
mute.
would-
You know that?
But that'll be all the travel because if they win that game, then it goes back to the Louisiana Superdome.
I muted because I still had YouTube on the background, and then my dog started barking, so it was
Okay.
getting some feedback there.
So how you doing?
Pretty good. Had some drone questions, and I saw you guys were live. It's like, oh, maybe I'll join in.
We're around here all the time, and first thing in the morning and in the evening.
Well, first thing in the morning, I'm normally sleeping, but yeah, I'm a
aren't we all?
night owl. So I
What's your questions?
I think my dog's not going to be barking here. Well, I'm thinking about getting a new drone, and Christmas time and Black Friday deals and whatnot is coming up here in about a week. So I've been eyeing the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and just kind of curious if any of you guys have them, or a Mini 3 if anybody has a Mini 3, and how it would
Joe?
compare to bigger ones.
I've got the Mini 3.
Okay.
If I were buying one now and I only wanted a mini drone, I'd go with the Mini 4.
Sure.
If it didn't matter, I'd go to an Air 3.
I have a Mavic 2 Pro, and I don't fly it very often. It's been months, actually. I just life busy, whatever. I tend to use it when I travel, and the idea of portability is becoming more and more important, I think.
If that's the reason, go with the Mini 4.
Yeah.
Mini
and
4,
also,
you can't go wrong.
Also,
Right.
international and places where you can use it. We recently went on a cruise. Well, it was a cruise, but we also had a land trip. And I just didn't even take my drone because there'd be too many places. It was in Europe, and I'm not up on the European laws, so I'd have to file some forms. But it's like, well, I looked in, it's like, well, if it's under 250 grams, things are easier. So
you can't go wrong with the Mini 4 because I got the Mini 3, and when I do press work, I carry it with me. It clips across my chest in a little case. And I've flown a drone with people standing around me, and they look over and they try to figure out what I'm doing. Then I'll bring the drone down, and they didn't even know I had a drone in the air.
yeah. What about wind resistance compared to the bigger drones?
That Mini 3, I've had it out on the lakefront in Mandeville during the parade with gusts of about 18 to 20 miles an hour and no problems.
Is the video as smooth as the bigger ones?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, you'd be hard pressed looking at
Air
any
4 and
auto shots, telling the
Yeah.
difference.
The Air 3 and the Mini 4 are pretty much very similar in the way they do the video. The Air 3 is just bigger and is better for wind resistance. But if your main aspect is you want clear video, the Mini 4 Pro is the way to go. If the size is important to you, to keep it
Yeah.
under
Mhm.
240.
Well, clean quality, shots and video is important. It's one reason I got the Mavic 2 Pro when it came out. But it's been almost 5 years since I've had that. At least 4. And newer technology, newer sensors and so forth. So even with the smaller sensor of these smaller drones, it seems like the footage is in many ways pretty close, identical. Perhaps
Well,
in
I
some
mean,
ways surpass it. So
For the average person, Dale, if you were to put a Mini 4 Pro up, an Air 2S, and like an Air 3 up in the air, and they were just looking at the just auto footage out of them, you'd be hard pressed to tell which one was which.
Unless you're a pixel.
I do color grade my videos, and I do
Right.
shoot vlogs, so that's
So I mean, you can't really
that
go
helps.
wrong with any of them.
Yeah.
The only
Because if you're
difference,
using
the only
10-bit
difference
color,
is
you can
the
color grade
newer
it
you,
anyway.
the newer DJIs you get, you're
Yeah.
going to have an upgrade in the transmission.
Yeah, I'm on OcuSync 2, and the new ones are
Or
OcuSync 4.
yeah. So technically, you can go farther. Of course, I still don't have my Part 107 yet, but I've been thinking about finally doing that.
Well, it's gotten a lot easier, Dale.
Yeah.
You take the test online,
Not,
and at
not
the
your
end
initial.
it gives you the score, and you can go back and change it all.
no,
No,
that's
not
for
not the original.
recurrence.
That's the recurrent. That
Not the
does that.
original.
That's a
Oh,
recurrent.
that's not the original. Okay.
Yeah, you still have to go in and,
The re-
actually test
reoccurrent.
for your.
I know it works for reoccurrent because originally when I got my 107, I had to go to an FCC testing area and everything else.
Yep, I've been there and done the recurrent at the testing facility too. But yeah,
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go on the first go around eventually, neither.
they might.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did, though, at some point.
For those of you who've done the test, do you think just studying the rules is good enough, or would you suggest getting one of these courses? You can, video courses, or
It depends on how you study, how you test.
How well you learn.
yeah.
I just used all the materials that the FAA gave, and I went online and watched different videos online talking about the subjects that was covered to get a better understanding, and I passed. But it really depends on how well you study and gather material.
Well, and the big thing too, I've heard people complain about that kind of gotten lazy about getting it done, that want to get it done, is if you do get one of those online courses, make sure you get through it at a fair pace, and then go take the test, because if you keep waiting and waiting, every time you go back, they're going to update those videos again, then you're going to have to relearn all that shit over again.
Well, the
You know what I'm
laws
saying?
change. It seems like quite
Right.
often, and it's hard to even keep abreast of that. So
Because like even Bill has said that, Uncle Bill said that plenty of times, that he'll get through almost the whole thing, then he decides he doesn't want to go take the test, and then 2-3 months go by and he comes back and
Yeah.
all the videos he watched are all different again now.
Mm.
So it's like, try to get through it in a timely manner and then go take the test as soon as you can, right away.
Mhm.
That way you're not going in an infinite loop of studying.
So
And it's also fresh in your mind.
Right.
right now there's some sales going on. And Pilot Institute keeps popping up in my feeds, and it's like $150
He's
for.
good.
That's the one I did, Pilot Institute.
You guys recommend that?
He's the best out there.
But before you do that, Dale, there's tons of the drone channels that have affiliate links that will
Mhm.
get you a discount. So don't
Right.
don't
Yeah,
be
well,
surprised.
that's $100 off affiliate link from one of the channels there.
Yeah,
So-
if you
Okay.
if you
Yeah.
hold up for about 5 minutes, I'm gonna go set up an affiliate link, and you can just follow mine.
Good
get
one,
you guys
Don.
one of a kickback or something. Huh?
Yeah.
But you would of all the ones that you've heard of or maybe have tried, Pilot Institute is one of the better
Well, that's
ones.
what I
Best
think.
one?
They've been recommended by tons of people. Yeah, it's Greg's, isn't it?
Yeah, Greg's. I did
Yeah.
Pilot Institute.
Roberto.
I did it, and it took me about 2 weeks to go through the whole course. And that was not really, not cramming it, but I was taking my time. I'd do a couple of lessons and I'd stop, then I'd do a couple lessons and stop. If I wasn't sure, I'd go back over the lesson. And then I scheduled my test right away and went in, and I scored a 90 on it. And I probably could have done better, but I went back and changed 2 answers.
Is that, do they discuss anything international, or is that purely United States FAA?
US.
US only.
Considering I'm in Australia,
Yeah.
so I can talk about the Australian part of it.
Okay.
If you're coming to Australia, you would have to, I believe you would have to sit a different test than you would in the FAA.
Okay.
In Australia, we have the Civil Aviation Safety Authority. You would have to go there and sit the operator accreditation, which is free. It's like the trust test in the US. You get your certificate, and then you can actually fly with very similar rules. We have very similar rules over here. So,
Yeah.
You're real
and I've
cocky,
noticed that because
I
I've
think
read up.
Dominic.
a number of places
Okay.
around the world, I think, have fairly similar rules, but just there's nuances and regulations
is.
regarding
And I've-
licensing.
I've
and so forth.
done-
But yeah.
I've studied FAA, CAA, Transport Canada, and EASA, which is Europe,
Yeah.
and they have a very similar situation where the rules are very similar, but each of them, I've noticed that each of them have a nuance to them.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit on the other side, but it's very they're very similar when you just break them down.
And just remember, if you go to Europe, the UK has their own versus the rest of Europe.
Europe and UK are two different things. Just remember that.
Because when they did the Brexit, they're no longer under that license anymore. But everybody that's gotten that European one, they said it was really easy to do, and you can just do it online.
Yeah.
And I think it's free too. You don't have to
go
pay
to you have
for
to
it.
go to the EASA website, which is the European aviation.
And I think
So-
it's free too, isn't it?
That's another reason
That's
to
it.
get a smaller drone, because the licensing requirements are simpler in Europe, for instance.
Yeah, all it seems to be all over the world that the 250 is the way to go, unless you're in Japan.
And
Yeah,
what's
the only way.
what's the issue
Japan, I
there?
think, it's 199.
Oh, so
And
basically
they
a
have
toy.
specific. They have a specific mini just built for the Japan market. What I've been told.
There's a mini
separate
that's
battery.
199.
Yeah, there is a 199 mini of what I've been told. I haven't. I haven't cited it, but I've spoken to someone that actually went over to Japan.
God, that thing's got to be tiny as hell.
Yeah, the only way
if
to
you
go
just
wrong.
take one of the battery cells out, it'll probably comply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The only way to go
15
wrong with a
minute
mini
limit or
drone.
something.
The only
Go
way to
ahead,
go wrong
Ed.
with a mini drone, don't buy a DJI. Buy some other mini drone. That would be the only mistake.
Yeah, DJI only. Even
I
though the
mean,
Autel Lite
The only one I would
it's still no
recommend.
mini.
I don't know. The Autel Lite's a pretty good drone though.
I've heard a
Well,
lot of complaints.
The only one I'm considering now is a
Mini
mini.
4 is the only. Mini 4 is the only one you should be considering.
Well, I'm just the Autel Lite's pretty good, and the Autel Nano, its main problem was it was just underpowered.
Yeah.
But
Right.
as far as the sensor and the camera and everything goes, it does really good video.
The
It's just
light-
they were-
light-
it was
The light
Paul's
and the
been
light plus
using
is good in low light
a Nano
situations.
for a while. Didn't you do some of your night stuff with the Nano?
Yeah, I do a lot of night stuff with the
Oh
Nano.
yeah, dude, the
Plus.
Nano
Yeah.
kicks ass at night compared to the DJI drones. Just out
But
here
you don't want to
shooting
be
an
out in
auto.
any kind of wind.
If
There's
you're
your problem. So
if you're shooting
You
an
can
auto
balance
though, then
everything.
Autels do really good at nighttime. If you're somebody that's
Yeah.
not a big editor and you're just doing auto shot.
yeah, because it uses the RYYB sensor.
No,
So
I'm
it's
I'm
better
happy to
under
stick
low
with
light.
DJI. That's what I know.
But yeah, I would definitely stick with them. I mean,
Mini 4.
So, but it just seems like for me, a lot of times I don't use it that often. Like it goes weeks or even months, depending on my schedule or what I'm doing or whatever. Paul, I haven't been down by the lake to even see a ship in
I mean, Dale, if
a
you
long
want to
time.
if you want to get real ballsy, you can go with the Hubson.
With the what?
Go with the Hubson.
I didn't know what that is.
Hubson
Good.
drone.
Don't
You don't want to
even,
know.
You know
yeah,
what?
don't even research
Get on
them.
night two.
It's like going out and it's like going out and buying a Karma.
Now, to be
Yeah.
fair, the Hubson drones were nice, but for some reason, they could never get that damn horizon tilt issue fixed.
Mm.
That was their biggest issue. Is every one of their models that came out all had horizon tilt,
Good
and
evening, Andrew.
they could never get it worked out.
Andrew.
Yeah.
That's why everybody ended up hating them.
So the next question is,
Dominic.
if I want to sell my Mavic 2 to help fund the Mini 4, where is a good place to do that?
eBay, Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
All the typical stuff.
Yeah.
But if you do if you do Facebook Marketplace, do local pickup only. Don't try to ship it or anything.
No,
Because then
you'll get scammed.
Yeah, you'll get dealing with scammers and everything.
Yeah.
Do a
Well,
local
you get-
pickup at the police department, or if you're comfortable doing it at your house, whatever. But just do local pickup only. That way they can come look at it. You can show them that it flies. Do a quick demonstration. And
Any
boom, in and out.
particular thing I should show, like pictures of the
Everything.
battery charge, how many times it's been charged or anything?
I
Well,
mean,
you can
could-
put that in the comment. You don't need to show.
Okay.
But the good thing to do is like get the drone, the controller, the batteries, all the accessories you have, lay them out real nice, and just take a couple overshots of it. And then you could just do some different angle shots of the drone itself. I mean, just to show that it's in
Do
good.
people put
good
videos
condition.
of it flying? Say, hey, here it is, stable or whatever.
No, they can find those. You know how.
Well, and the thing is, most people, if they're going to show up and they're really spending that kind
They're
of
gonna
money,
want to fly it.
Exactly.
And
Do you guys
and-
actually let someone else fly your drone? You know, it's like test driving a car. What if they wreck it? You know.
Well, I mean, you could fly it for them and just show them
Okay.
it works.
All right.
I mean,
you find you fly.
and you don't really
I
have
had
to
someone
like.
test drive a car I was selling, and this lady just stomped on the gas, peeled out, and almost wrecked. So I
And
just
you don't.
very
don't
careful
really-
about stuff like that.
And you don't really need to like take it out a mile or nothing. Just hover it in the yard, show them
Mhm.
the camera moves up and down correctly, and it moves around
Yeah.
good. And
And
Yeah.
also,
Go through your initial test, what you normally would do: up, down, yaw,
yeah, pan the
left,
camera up and
right,
down.
forward, back.
Take off, land. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely would sell the Pro 2 only because they are aging a little bit.
Mhm.
And at some point, they're not going to be worth pretty much anything because a lot of them dropped on the market when the Mavic 3 came out and people started upgrading.
Yeah, but the Mavic 3 is so expensive.
There was a lot of them that hit eBay, and just I would check, kind of look around too, just see what they're going for on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, kind of get an idea of what you have and what that.
I'll certainly take a hit, but you know,
Well, I give you an idea too, because people
sure,
they're spending that much money, they're going to come and they're going to be like, I'm not paying 800 if I can go on eBay and get it for 6, you know.
sure,
or whatever it
absolutely,
might
absolutely. I've never sold anything on Facebook Marketplace. I've bought stuff, but I kind of a lot of the ads I see on there are so poorly thought out and overpriced, and I don't know. So, but yeah, but something like this, I think, is probably best sold where the person can actually see it and test it.
Local, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So. And eBay now is expensive. I have a camera lens for sale on there, and I looked. It's like, really, the fee to sell this is like $200.
Well, not only on eBay, you have to pay the eBay fee, but you have to pay the PayPal fee too.
Well,
There's actually 2 fees. you gotta
eBay
pay.
doesn't use PayPal anymore. They have their own. I
Mm.
don't know if that's a separate fee or not, but it's like 15%.
Andrew.
It's sorry about that.
Hold on, eBay abandoned PayPal altogether?
Technical.
Well, they sold
Really?
it off as a separate company,
What?
and I think they have their own financial thing. I don't know if you can use PayPal but I think in general they're
It's an external API.
yeah, I think in general when you check out it doesn't use PayPal, it uses eBay's own financial stuff.
It gives you the option to use PayPal.
Okay.
eBay's been with PayPal for over
PayPal
20
is their
years.
native
Yeah, but it's a separate
process.
company, and I think they sort of
They
supplant-
demerged.
Yeah. But
So what's up, Don?
Oh,
You're
nothing
speaking
much.
to-
Just doing some editing.
Oh. You look rather comfy there, Dominic.
I'm trying to get comfortable, but I'm
Fine.
not.
You know, I've been working or not.
Dominic, just lean the seat back.
I've got to get going in about 15 minutes. So I'll just sit this way and work it out later.
where are you at in Australia right now?
Melbourne.
Okay. What time is it there?
It is 5 minutes to 10 a.m. Thursday morning.
Okay.
So how you doing there, Joe?
A day at a time.
Feeling any better?
Yes and no.
So sort of.
Well, I don't know. We still masking each other. I don't know if it's going to be a heart issue still or it's the Ozempic. So I think I'm going to just stop taking Ozempic and then find out for sure.
You having a problem with that?
Yeah, I've had a history for about 20 years. And I started taking Ozempic about 12 weeks ago. I was having reflux and we were thinking it was acid reflux. And then about 3 weeks ago, I had a heart attack.
Ooh.
In the middle of it. So I had stents put in, actually right at 2 weeks now. Had stents put in and everything went back to normal. And all of a sudden last Friday night shooting pictures at a game, chest started hurting again. So it's like,
I started taking Ozempic about 4 to 5 months ago.
Just be careful with it, Dale.
You've had issues?
No, I haven't, but we hear all the stories, you know?
I've had the typical side effects, nausea, but a little bit of lightheadedness, but
well, the biggest thing for me is when I do it, I'll get up in the morning, eat breakfast, and then about 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'll eat breakfast around 6:30. About 10:30, 11 o'clock, my stomach starts to hurt. And then if I eat something, I go back to normal. But it seems like about every 3 hours, my stomach will start hurting. And that's because of the way the Ozempic does the digestion. So I've only had that really issue. But I've had indigestion where if I don't eat, I'll start belching and then my chest started hurting. And we like I said, I went through the doctors and everything. And I used to work EMS. So I've got all the equipment here to do EKGs and everything. So I was doing all of that and everything was looking good. And then all of a sudden I got a little pain walking and I said, and that's exertion. That's a complete different thing. So one was masking the other. And I was feeling good after all the couple of new stents. But now I'm at 15 and I had 3 areas ballooned and I was feeling a lot better. Started taking those Ozempic again and started having pain again.
Have you asked about Mounjaro? Similar drug?
My doctor is specific. He wants me on Ozempic, but we'll let my doctor know I'm not going to take it. That's it. I'm done. That was my last dose of it this week.
Okay.
Well, it's either the dose issue or it's a Ozempic issue altogether.
Well, it's the lowest dose he can give me, 0.25.
So it's got to be an Ozempic issue if it's the lowest
It's
dose.
got to be those Ozempic.
Unless
and my blood sugar is so borderline. When I was in the hospital, they came in and they were giving me instructions on diabetes because nobody's ever really given me anything. Mine's borderline. And they even said with my A1C being at 6.9, I shouldn't have even taken Ozempic. And it's at 6.2 now. And my blood sugar, if I test my sugar right now, it's like in the 80s. So it's like,
So
I think it's
what do you
because
think would
it's
happen
hurting
if he went up on the Ozempic, up the dose?
me. Would probably kill me.
Okay. Because I would recommend then just go off it altogether.
Well, I'm gonna let him know I'm not doing it. You know, I'm just.
Yeah, Andrew is not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
Recommendations.
Yeah.
I
should
know
not
several
follow
doctors.
as medical
Let's
advice.
just say I know several doctors. So
I went to a Holiday Inn once.
You could know a
What the fuck?
you could know a plumber and I'd still say you're full of shit.
That's a good one.
Oh my
No, it's
god.
just. No, my
What
doctor,
are-
he's a hard ass. Let's put it that way. And well, the first time I ever saw this guy, I had a cane because my knee was killing me, and that was right before I had the knee surgery on my left knee, and it was my first time in his office, and he looks at me and he goes, "So what's the
Brother Cane.
cane for?" I said, "My knee hurts." He says, "That's because you're fat."
Oh wow.
That
whoa.
fast.
Brutal honesty.
Is he an older fella, or is he an older fella? Or?
He should have retired like 30 years ago. I think he's like 80.
Oh, so he's
Maybe-
well past. So any
My
year now,
cardiologist is also 80.
he's probably due to retire any year now.
Oh, I'm hoping.
Can't you go
I would
somewhere
s-
else, or does your insurance only allow you to go to that one?
I could go somewhere else, but I only see him like once or twice a year, so it's like I could deal with him. We go
I
back and
would-
forth.
I would.
And maybe
I
get a
would
fresh
look
pair of
around to
eyes
see-
on it though.
I would go look
His eyes
around
aren't
to
fresh.
see if I would look around and see who else is around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would get a fresh pair of eyes on it. Let
Mm.
find some other doctor to go to and see what
Mm.
they say.
Find somebody about 40 years younger.
If I find somebody 40 years younger, she's gonna look nice too.
Yeah.
Well, then you
Yeah,
want
you
to
need
come
to go to
see
a
my
female doctor.
Joe. If you
They
want
have
to
a
come to
better- they have
Florida,
a better perspective in life.
Joe, if you want to come down to Florida, you can go see my doctor then.
Yeah.
You need to see some of them around here. I just need to change doctors.
And I get to
Yeah.
go do massage therapy too.
You see, when you pick up when you pick out a doctor here, you go find them, then you go on Facebook and you look at them. You see
I
what they
got
look
the-
like first.
I got to because Sarah's really good friends with the doctor at her office. She's the head
Mhm.
doctor that's over all the residents. So she took my case. Like she usually doesn't take patients, but she took over my case just for Sarah, and she's really good.
Well, the one doctor I miss is my oncologist. I almost said her name. I don't want to say her name. She was about 38 years old, and she wore little sundresses. And I was sitting there one day, and she comes over to check my right up in here at the field. So she sits down and straddles my knee with a little sundress.
Oh, how you doing?
And I was thinking, oh my God. You know? And she's just fooling my neck and smiling at me and straddling my knee. And I got shorts on, and I don't know what she had on, but it felt pretty good.
Tim Jackson would
You
love
probably
to.
knew what you were doing. You were just having a good laugh.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
Like,
Tim
why is his
Jackson.
blood
That's
pressure
a Tim
spiking all of a
Jackson.
sudden?
That's a Tim Jackson. How you doing?
Wasn't my blood pressure spiking?
Oh,
I bet Don wouldn't have minded to be in that position.
But you see, God has a sense of humor though, because now the guy, the oncologist that took over for her, is about as funny as an $18 bill,
yeah.
and he comes in sashaying all the time. So I got to pay back on that one.
Nah, I'm not gonna say what I thought of that, because I can think of something that is as unfunny as something, but I'll offend too many people.
Well, then why do you
But
even
on that
mention it?
bombshell, what was that?
Why do
see
you
that,
even mention
guys?
it then?
That looks
Making
pretty good.
some trees.
But on
Oh,
that
yeah.
bombshell, I must leave, guys. So I'll see you
Bye,
Another
Dominic.
time.
Okay,
Good
Dominic,
night.
we'll see ya.
Hey, Max.
Yeah. Bye bye.
How you doing, Max? Mark?
Max. Dude, it's been raining here nonstop the last like 7 hours.
You got a front coming in, so.
Here comes Mr. Ron.
Ron, what's up,
Lockwood.
Ron?
Joe, if you have questions about Ozempic, Ron's the man.
Don't take it.
I'm about to stop.
Yeah. Hold that thought for 1 second.
Where's my phone?
Yesterday, if you guys remember, I was on live with you and I said I had an important phone call.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my good friend Don's daughter.
Yep.
Because when I was hunting with him Monday, I have had it with these side effects with him. Every damn side effect of that drug he had. And while we were sitting there hunting, she is his power of attorney. For those of you who don't know, my friend, he's disabled. He's on oxygen. He's 74 or 5 now, veteran. But he is a diabetic, but for whatever reason, the VA, we found out in Sturgis now, practically has no physicians. They're using nurse practitioners and PAs. And whatever reason they put him on this drug, one would think that as a practitioner, you would know the side effects of a drug before you prescribe it to a patient. One of them is severe weight loss. One of the things the drug does is makes you feel like you're full all the time. He eats like a bird. I take him out to dinner and buy him a nice dinner, and he eats like a quarter of it. But he's lost like 25 pounds over the past year. Muscle mass loss, terrible.
Wow.
Bone density he has lost. He's down to 140 pounds now. He's a 6'1" man. And yesterday or Monday, I texted his daughter because, I'm sitting on a fine line. I'm not his son. I'm just his good friend. But I texted her and I said, Laura, it's only my recommendation, but it's time for an aggressive, really pissed off daughter to make phone calls to the VA. She always calls me her eyes and ears because she lives in Utah. I live in Wyoming. And Dawn's 15 minutes from me. And I've told her about all these side effects. I told her about the incident in the woods we had a couple of weeks ago. So anyhow, she called and she finally found a patient advocate. And apparently was on the phone with him for over an hour and lit him up. Dawn calls me today. His nurse practitioner has been fired from him, so to speak. They are assigning him a physician in Rapid City. He is going to be beginning immediately off the Ozempic. And there's several other things that they took away his physical therapy. As a veteran, he had a physical therapist come in twice a week and just showed continuous improvement. They took it away from him. They're trying to tell him he's only allowed so much oxygen a month. The list is long. But anyhow, Laura lit them up. But one of the big things was the Ozempic. It was initially prescribed for diabetics. People take it for weight loss now, but it does so much to your body's chemistry. If you're on Ozempic, you need to be on a good nutritional diet to replace what it takes away from you. And if you're not, you're hurting yourself. That's just my opinion. That's all it is. But
yeah, what it did to me was it was giving me acid reflux, and it was masking a heart issue.
Yeah.
And I was going back and forth. I got the medical background, and I was seeing the same thing. It was masking it so perfect. And then a couple of weeks ago, when I was walking by the game, my chest started hurting while I was walking. I said, "That's not reflux." Yeah. And I've been off of it I was off of it for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and that was a week and 2 weeks into the stents and everything being done after the heart attack. And then what they did was, he gave it back to him and he said, no, you try, if it's the reflux, we'll give you Protonics to fix that. He said, you had a separate issue with the heart. That's what he was telling me. So I did the shot on Monday and I'm having chest pains again.
Yeah.
So it's like,
again, Joe, just my opinion, but
well, I'm with you because I'm ahead of you on that one.
yeah.
But last night was the first night I popped a nitro just because, and the nitro worked. So I called the doctor again, and he told me, he said he still thinks it's the settling of the 3 balloons and the stents,
Right.
because everything else is perfect.
But they still got
Only-
you on the Ozempic, right?
Well, I only do it once a week, so that's the last one I did. That was Monday. I don't plan on doing it Monday coming.
Well, I've been taking it for about 4 months and I've had what I think are positive results. I am very overweight and I'm happy for the weight loss. I've lost 67 pounds so far, but I have about another 200 to go. So I'm still over 400 pounds. So I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
My A1C was just at the threshold, 6.5, and now it's 6.3 after 4 months. So I'm on the 1 milligram dose. I haven't gone up to the 2. So I'm like the 3rd step out of 4, I guess. Definitely it does affect your hunger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really curbed my snacking, which has helped me to lose some weight. And I started losing before this. But nausea hit me pretty hard and that's one of the side effects. But that's tapered off. You know, it was like 2 days after I'd inject it, I'd have not vomit, but getting there, you know, nausea.
Yeah.
Now I don't. That doesn't. I don't know if I'm getting used to it, but it doesn't seem to affect me as much. I had a little bit of dizziness maybe the first month, but
you see the dose you're on. The dose you're on is like 4 times what I'm taking.
Yeah,
I've got like 0.25.
2 milligrams.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you 8 times.
It goes quarter,
Mine's
half,
0.25.
1, 2. Yeah. So, but yeah, my
and it has never curbed my hunger. I'm still hungry. Get hungry, you know. It's never really.
Yeah,
changed
I don't
that.
eat as much, which is a good thing for me. Obviously, Ron's friend didn't have weight to lose, and he's losing.
No.
It, so.
And that's the thing that angers me is, as a nurse practitioner, are you not seeing this? Really? A man 6'1" is now 140 pounds.
Well, you said his legs were only about this big around.
Oh my God, they are like sticks. And then not long ago, she increased his dosage. Are you kidding me? What? And I actually told Laura, I said I would have her reported for malpractice.
Well, one of the problems with drugs is many different drugs have side effects and they interact with each other, and
yeah,
it's a tightrope
Dale.
walk
True.
between drugs that are killing you versus some that are helping you, and
everybody's different, you know.
Everybody's different. So it's new for me. I've seen positive results. My blood sugar has dropped a little bit. I didn't think it was that bad to begin with, but I'm happy for the weight loss because that's something that I need. So
I've heard stories
affects-
after people stop, after several weeks, they gain weight again. That
if
they
you
already
stop
lost.
taking it, I'm sure I would. If there's nothing, you know, controlling my hunger, I will snack. So
yeah.
But
I take enough other crap that I don't need to be taking Ozempic with it. You know, that's the whole problem. And I knew it was masking something because I kept saying to myself, it's so much reflux because every time something would start, my chest would start to hurt. I would start belching, and then I'd take a Tums or I'd take a Protonics in the morning. When I started taking Protonics, it would relieve it a little. The Tums would relieve it. That's why I probably had the reflux going with the Ozempic, but I was also having the heart issue, and it could have triggered it. It just added to it, or it could have just been masking enough, and the heart was going to do it anyway. Because it's 5 years since my last time I've gone in for anything with a angiogram or anything. So I had one blockage that was a concern. It was 85%. And 5 years ago I had 100% blockage, and it hit me all at once. It was a complete different feeling. So this one may have been going that way, and it was just a little bit at a time, and it just happened to correspond with the reflux.
Have you ever tried Prilosec for reflux?
Something
No.
Mendez.
That's worked for me. But I had that before Ozempic, and Ozempic doesn't seem to have affected my reflux level at all, up or down.
Omeprazole and lansoprazole both work well for acid reflux.
Yeah.
That's what I have on Permazole or whatever it is.
Omeprazole.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's the same thing as Prilosec.
Yeah, it's a prescription-based Prilosec.
Yeah.
Instead of buying over the counter.
Omeprazole you can buy at, say, Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Or Costco or something like that.
Although if you get a prescription, it may be cheaper if you have a health plan.
Well, see, I got a prescription. It's a little bit more powerful than the over-the-counter stuff.
Yeah, I got the Protonics they gave me the other day, and I got a 90-day supply sitting in here.
I think it's you submit receipt and the script, and the insurance gives you money back or something. I think that's what it is. Some insurances
That Ozempic, though, it's crazy. I was looking at the price of it. That one pen didn't cost me anything, but it cost my insurance company $1,100. But they didn't pay that, but that's what the cash price is. $1,122.92.
Well, I started
That's
on
crazy.
Wegovy, which is the weight loss version. It's targeted towards weight loss. I paid $1,308 for my first month, which hit my deductible. And then the second month, I said, "Well, my deductible's paid, so now I should only have to pay $200 a month." Yeah, I was wrong. My insurance didn't cover it, and it was $1,308 again. So it's like, I'm not buying this. That's when I talked with my doctor. I said, "Well, can you switch me to Ozempic?" And he said, "Only if you're diabetic. We need to check your A1C levels." So, and that's when he says it's 6.5. Well, guess what? That's the magic number. It's the lowest A1C to qualify. So it's the same basic drug, slightly different dosing. But now it's only like $50 a month. It's very expensive. Until it's a generic, pretty much all medications in the US are expensive until they're generic.
If something happens, if I were you, Dale, would consider Manjaro, which is a new weight loss drug from Eli Lilly.
I think that one also is not covered by my insurance.
Oh.
So
maybe because it's almost brand new on the market.
Well, if it's a drug that's marketed towards weight loss products are not covered.
It is.
But if it has another usage, like, oh, hey, here's migraines, I get prescribed it because if I have migraines, for instance, whatever. So that's how
a few of these weight loss drugs, they're testing to see if it helps with heart issues.
Ozempic is supposedly supposed to reduce your risk of heart disease. So they might, yeah.
But you see, Ron, you and I think the same. I look at things and I try to diagnose a little bit, even though I'm not supposed to, I try to look at causes and effect. And like this week, prior to taking the Ozempic again, I got a new chair in redid the chair, did everything, carried this big old ass chair downstairs, threw it away, did all of that, had no issues. I had no pains, no kind of stress pains, nothing to do with exertion. As soon as I start taking that again, I start having little exertion pains.
Mm.
So the only factor in there is those.
How old are you, Joe?
68.
It's not recommended for patients over 65.
Well, I guess it's time to switch.
Does
Switch
your
doctors.
doctor know that, Joe?
My doctor may not know anything. I don't know. Like I said,
Oh,
he's an
that
old
shouldn't be
curmudgeon.
a question. The doctor should know that.
Well,
Well, he should know.
the problem
They
is
absolutely
that the
should.
drug salespeople go right into the doctor's offices and says, "Ooh, this is good, and this is good."
Yeah.
They
To an
got
extent.
they got reps that go in and just push that stuff.
To an extent, they still do today.
And the reps that go in there and push that stuff wear little short skirts and everything else.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, Joe, when any type of practitioner puts a patient on a new drug, they should notify them of the side effects, and they should do follow-up. What are you experiencing? Is, what may be good for Dale may not be good for you. Everybody's different.
And I've been going once a month to him too. He's
Simple
been like, "Hey,
example.
let's check this out. Let's check your readings. How's this? We're experiencing stuff." So I'm happy with my doctor, but yeah, I'm happy so far. But
Take it
certainly does
easy,
have
Tim.
side effects. Some positive, some negative.
Look at my guy last week. 28 years old. I've been to the doctor many times for sinus infection. They prescribed you amoxicillin. He went into the clinic for a sinus infection. They get prescribed amoxicillin. He went to the pharmacy, got it. Half hour later, he damn near died. I mean, if we didn't get to him when we did, he would have died.
You saved his life.
Dude, I don't give a shit.
yeah.
If I'm in that much pain from like an abscess tooth or a sinus infection, I'm gonna take whatever the hell they give me. If I think it's
Well,
gonna
he
get rid
did.
of that
He
pain.
didn't know
That
it.
pain is
He
horrible.
didn't know it.
He
But
didn't know.
Severe
I-
allergic reaction.
Oh, I thought you said he didn't want to go in for it. He waited too long.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I thought that's what I.
wow.
Yeah, his whole airway, his tongue, everything was swollen up. His whole body was red, hives all over, wheezing.
So this is after one dose?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
He'll
when
do
people
it.
are allergic
That's
to
quick.
amoxicillin, it's a severe reaction.
Yeah.
Not uncommon that drug has a lot of people are allergic to that.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of them.
Put in the sink.
Because there's a few if you have a fungus, some sort of fungus, the side effect is furry tongue.
Furry?
Yes, furry.
See, I love those people though, Ron, that like will have an abscess tooth or something and they just refuse to go to the doctor.
Oof.
And I'm like, how are you just
Oh.
sitting there just dealing with that when you could easily go and get a pain med and get something in you to start getting rid of that pain? Like, I don't see how people are that stubborn. Fuck that.
And an infection in your mouth is an easy way to cause you to have a serious infection to your heart, pericarditis.
Oh yeah.
That's why when
Yeah.
a dentist does severe, major dental work to you, they put you on an antibiotic.
What was
For
that,
a
like
reason.
sepsis, right?
Oh, you can
Isn't
you can get in. It causes infection on your heart. They call it pericarditis.
Yeah, screw that, dude.
Placed around the pericardium sac. Yeah.
Like out of all the infections I've had in my day, like sinus and tooth, abscess tooth was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, as far as, because not only does it doing that, but it's pressing, then your face starts swelling and then then it starts pressing on your sinus cavities and all that. And then it's like
Yep.
double. It's like, oh God.
I had an abscess and they did a root canal on it, but they gave me the antibiotics to take, and I went through the entire round of antibiotics, went in to get it taken out, and he was injecting me to numb me up. Well, the anesthetic that they use, it changes the pH, and if or if it goes into that pH of the infection, it changes it and basically destroys any effectiveness of it. And so he kept on giving me different shots in different locations, and the tooth was still just killing me. And it was finally just like, just take it out. And they had the little wedge in my mouth, and that's the worst pain I ever had.
Oh yeah, dude, that's
they'd
no
already
joke.
started drilling, and it's
Oh,
like just do it. And it wasn't completely numb, but
Yeah,
Man,
tooth pain is
oh,
like some of the worst.
Tim. Oh God. You
yeah,
see what Tim just put?
he tore a
No,
muscle
yeah,
in
he
his leg.
tore a muscle in his leg.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude, he's gonna have to take a couple days off and let that start to heal.
Yeah,
Did he go to the doctor?
No, but he needs to go get it looked at, and then he needs to.
Yeah, that isn't
He's gonna
something
have
you
to
can
be-
just heal on your own, right, Ron?
It'll heal. How does he know he got a torn muscle? If he
Well,
can go-
he's just guessing because he was at work on the work site, and all of a sudden he slipped on a rock or something, and he heard a popping noise. Pop.
And then it was like a really intense burning feeling.
you know,
Maybe.
unless they do a CT or an MRI or whatever, it's really hard to tell.
Well, that's why I said to me it sounds like a torn muscle, but he needs to go get it looked at anyway.
Yeah,
tendon, ligament, muscle.
yeah.
Bone.
Ron, do you think it's would be a knee issue?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
No, it's the top of his leg that hurts.
Oh, he's a quadricep.
Or wherever that is. Where's the quad at? It's like,
Quad.
is that the top? or
Quad
bottom?
is on the top of your leg,
Yeah.
on the front, just down from the hip.
yeah,
Oh,
it
he
could-
would know if that was his knee popping, bro. He'd be way more.
Well,
pain
it
than that.
could be a hip socket popping too, right, Ron?
could be.
Max, you are funny, Max.
Because he said he has a hard time standing.
Tim has that problem every once in a while.
Yeah, the old self-medicating.
He almost had 100% sympathy there, and then Ron had to stick a
Yeah.
little jab in his side there.
I was sitting at my desk about 16 years ago, 15 years ago here, and I was doing something and I went to slide my foot into my slipper and I couldn't get my foot into my slipper. And I looked down at my foot and it was like huge. And I said, okay, what's going on? So I went straight to the hospital because I knew it had a CHF kind of issue because I was building up fluid and I could see it in my hands and everything. And I got down there and they took an x-ray and they said, you got pericarditis right now. And that's what's causing the CHF. And I tell you, you couldn't touch my chest. You just touch it. It just like, it was nothing but sore. They had to give me medication just to make everything kind of settle down.
you tried putting your foot in your slipper and it wouldn't go in because it was huge.
Yeah,
His
the
foot
foot
wouldn't
swole
fit
up.
in a slipper
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, the
That happened to my
foot swole
penis
up while I
once.
was sitting there.
Donald.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. I know better than to say stuff like that. But usually that's when Matt's on, you know. So
Oh my god.
Tim Jackson's laughing in the chat.
I don't blame him.
Is Tim, are you at work or are you home?
Oh, he's at work. He said he just
He's
set
at
up
work.
the job site. He was
He's-
out in tears from his leg.
Mhm.
Oh, this just happened? Like,
Yeah, it happened yesterday.
Yesterday.
He
Okay.
went to work again today.
And he went to work today.
But
if
last
it
night
happens
when he
at
was,
work, it's workman's comp. They should be paying him to
Well,
go.
we don't know what Australia is like.
Oh,
yeah, Tim
he-
moved over there like 20 years ago, so he lives in
Wow.
Australia.
oh, they probably have more health and safety. They're-
Tim, go into the city, go to the big hospital, see if they can do something.
Well, the problem is Tim lives alone. And if he goes to the hospital and they give him some kind of a drug or something to help him with his pain, he can't get home
Yeah,
because he
'cause he's
lives
not
out in
gonna.
the sticks.
Unless it was something very serious, he's not gonna get admitted for something like that.
They
They're
only
just-
got like Ubers and stuff there.
Well, I mentioned that, like dial a ride and Uber and that kind of stuff. No, they don't have that. All they
got-
have is taxis, the taxis, big bucks.
He lives out in the sticks.
Yeah, he does. He lives out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he lives up on a hill, actually.
Yeah.
Sounds
he
nice,
lives on a
actually.
mountain. He's right next to a mountain.
But
No, he lives up on the mountain.
Tim is doctoring himself. He put in the chat. Doctors won't be able to do anything for my leg.
No, but at least you might be able to get some pain medication to get you through a couple days while it's
Well,
healing.
and it'd be nice to get a real medical prognosis as to what it could be. Right now, you're just playing the guessing game.
Well, maybe it's sciatic. You know,
Dr. Tim.
Well, because he's most likely, if he went to the hospital, if it's like a bad torn muscle or something, they're going to give him like an anti-inflammatory and a couple other things to at least, help with it.
The anti-inflammatory is going to be stronger than, say, a leave.
No, over here, they just give you ibuprofen. 800. That's all the
Ron
hospital
listens
gives
to
you.
this and just kind of shakes his head. You guys are wacky.
Hey, Tim, is there a lift over there?
No, he says all they have is Uber, and it's way, way expensive.
Well, like I said too, you got to remember Tim lives out in the middle of nowhere too. So
Yeah.
and they've been cutting Tim's hours like crazy lately, so he probably can't afford to do that.
I'm willing to bet the Uber is cheaper than an ambulance ride.
They don't pay for that there.
That's true.
They pay in taxes for their health care, so they don't pay for stuff like that out of pocket. Well, here, the hospital in our town, they'll actually pay for your Uber ride home if you can't get it, and then they add it onto your bill. But they'll actually pay up front to get you a ride home if you don't have a ride home.
And
They'll
do
call
they
an
triple
Uber
the
for you.
amount when they add it to your bill?
I don't know. I
a
used to
modest service fee is added probably.
because when I used to do Uber here in my
Modest
local town,
equals
Modest.
X3.
Ticketmaster service charge.
when I used to do Uber, I used to pick up people all the time for the hospital.
Hospital.
And the hospital would put a call into Uber, and then I would show up and they would pay for the ride. I actually had to take somebody that had to come all the way to our hospital for because they didn't have any beds all the way in Tampa and St. Pete. I had to take them almost an hour and a half to St. Pete from the hospital here.
That I'm sure that was expensive.
I think I made like 50 or 60 bucks off that or something. I can't remember.
Oh, because of gas.
Best night I ever had was Uber was New Year's Eve night in 2020. It was going from the Disney World. I got a trip from Legoland here in my town and got all the way into Orlando, and I picked up 6 families from Disney World. Took them about a mile to their hotel, but because it was New Year's Eve night and the rates were like quadrupled, and it was so busy, I ended up making like $1,400 in probably about a 4-hour period.
Wow.
Just
That's good
taking
money.
4 families. It was just 4 families. That was it. That's all I took. And I made that much money because they were charging like $200-300 just to go a mile and a half down the road because of the rates got
Wow.
quadrupled because of the busy
Not
time.
a walk.
Well, they have was this after the what do they call them? The trams shut down or the trolleys? Because they have trolleys that run the routes to the hotels constantly down there.
I don't know.
Oh,
I got a trip to a hotel down there from Legoland here, and then all of a sudden I started getting hits over at Disney World at the pickup area. And I got 4 families within because it took me about 4 hours because traffic was so bad down there. I got 4 families, and I ended up coming home early, and I only worked like 6 hours and altogether, getting there and doing that and coming back, and I ended up making about $1,400. That was actually the last night I ever did Uber too.
Would you ever
I'm
go
gonna
back and
fix
do Uber?
dinner.
No, because it takes a real toll on your vehicle.
Mm.
I'm gonna go fix
Spe-
dinner.
What's
Now,
for
if you
dinner
leave-
tonight, Don?
Don't know yet.
What's
why I
that?
look and see what I got.
Or is it what's in the fridge?
Well, last night I made potato soup.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight I might make beef and broccoli. I'm not sure.
Oh,
That sounds good.
Yeah, it depends on if the meat's thawed yet or not.
okay, Don.
Whatever sounds tastiest, Don.
Uh-huh.
Go with that.
Oh, I had some crazy shit happen in my Uber. Oh my God, dude. I had a couple that had sex in my backseat.
Oh,
The guy
that
gave me
was-
50. The guy gave me $50 when we got back to his house because it was about 8 miles from the bar. He was like, "I'll give you." He was drunk as shit. He was like, "I'll give you a tip if you don't say nothing." I was like, "All right." And then he handed me a $50 bill before we started driving. I was like, "Yep." I just kind of peeked in the rearview mirror to make
I
sure traffic
see
was still behind me.
nothing.
Well, I had to
This
peek
is-
in the rearview mirror a couple times to make sure traffic was good behind me, at 2 in the morning. And then I had a drunk lady. Oh my God, dude. So I picked up this lady at the train station here in my town, took her, and this drunk lady gets in my car thinking it was her Uber. And the other lady was in the front seat, and she just jumps in the back seat out of nowhere, drunk as shit, running towards my car and falls right before she gets to the back door. Rolls her fucking ankle, just twists her ankle all to hell. Drunk as shit. They kicked her off the train at the train station here in my town. So she gets in the back seat, and the other lady up front, I was like, I told the lady in the back seat, I said, just calm down. And I told the lady in the front, I said, I'm so sorry for this. I was like, let me take you home, and then I'll deal with her. So I took the lady home because she was only going about a mile down the road. So I took her home, dropped her off. The lady was understanding. And then she called her husband on the phone, the lady in the back seat. And her husband, because she didn't get into the ride Uber, I couldn't just pick up the ride because that wasn't an option in the Uber app to just pick up rides that accidentally got into your car. So I talked to her husband on the phone. Well, he PayPal'd me $200 to take her to Orlando to drop her off at a hotel with her friends that she was supposed to meet. So she's in the back seat. I take her all the way to Orlando, drop her off. He PayPal'd me $200 before we left here. And it was about an hour drive to the hotel. When I got there, her friend gave me another $100 for bringing her. And then I drove back. So I ended up making $300 off of taking her to
Ooh.
Orlando. And that normally would have only netted me about $80. 80, 90
Exactly,
Puke in your
Tim.
car?
You what? No,
Did
no,
she
she
puke
didn't.
in your car?
No, she didn't. But she was on the phone with her husband. She's like, this Uber driver's so cute. You think I should give him a kiss? And she's like trying to reach over the seat and kiss me. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's on the phone with her husband. He's all the way in California. And she's on the phone with him talking about she wants to kiss me. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So she finally gets off the thing and she kind of like half passes out in the back seat. And she just kind of stayed back there and was kind of mumbling shit to me the whole time. But I got her to Orlando. Her friends came out front, picked her up. They handed me $100 bill. I turned around back to where it came right back.
You
My
hightail it
goal
right
was-
home.
Oh my God, dude. Like I said, I had some crazy shit happen.
Exactly, Tim Jackson. Exactly. This is what it is. So what's the craziest thing that's happened to you, Ren?
What's that?
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you with ambulance or an Uber?
I don't think Ron's ever Ubered, have you?
No. No, I don't want drunken people in my car.
No, but I actually had barf bags in the back that I when I was at the ER one night, with one of the kids. We were in one of the rooms, and you know how they have those barf bags on the wall, the little dispenser, the little blue ones. Ron, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Those little blue round ones. I grabbed like 6 of them and shoved them in my pocket, and I kept those in my back seat the whole time I was Ubering.
Like on the plane, those little bags?
Yeah, except for in the hospital, they're like a plastic ring, and then they got a long blue bag that extends out on the bottom.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they collapse on top of each other and stack on each other. And I grabbed like 5 or 6 of them and shoved them in my pocket. I kept those in my back seat for the whole time I was Uber. Never had to use them, but I always had them back there.
I've never thought about driving for Uber. I've ridden in a couple only. But...
I mean, it's okay. It's okay if you can stay busy enough and make enough money. Like if you're making $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week doing it, then it's worth the maintenance on your vehicle. But if you're like me, I was lucky to make like 800 or 900 a week. Like it was kind of, iffy because I wasn't in the biggest city, because Winter Haven's not the biggest city in the world.
And how many hours worth of work was that for you?
I would go out
Tim?
anywhere between 4 to 6 hours a day. And I would always try to make a goal of like 150 to 200 a day.
And that's
But
gross before taking out fuel and expenses and taxes.
Right. And then I wouldn't, and then I usually would take a couple days off a week. But it was usually like Monday and Tuesday because the weekends were your busy time.
Yeah.
So usually Monday and Tuesday I didn't drive because it was really slow. But Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays and Sundays were really busy. Especially Fridays and Saturday nights because you get everybody from the bars coming out.
You can get real busy if you're doing it in New York City.
Oh yeah.
But the problem with Uber too is so like Uber Eats and like all the ones that do the food delivery, they actually limit how many drivers can be in one area so that way it doesn't get over saturated.
Yeah.
But with regular Uber and regular Lyft, they don't do that. So like you can go to the Orlando airport, bro, there'll be 200 Ubers sitting at the Orlando airport at any given time. But you're not gonna, you don't really stay that busy because there's so many of them. So even in Orlando, you didn't really make that much money because they didn't do like they did with their Uber Eats. They didn't limit how many drivers could be in one area. So, but see, what I used to use is I used the driver app, and then I had a second phone where I had the customer app that was pulled up because on the customer app you could see how many drivers were in your area.
Oh yeah.
On the driver app, it didn't show you that. So I would use the customer app to see how many people were driving in my area, and then I would base that on whether I'd go out and drive or not. Sometimes there'd be 10 drivers in Winter Haven, and that's just too many. Like there's just not enough business. But if there was 2 or 3, then that was, that would get you some rides.
If there were none, then you go out.
Oh yeah, if there was no drivers, I definitely would hit the streets. But I used to get a lot of people going from Legoland. There's tons of people that will Uber all the way from Orlando an hour or so to come out to Legoland. They'll stay at Legoland all day and then they'll Uber back all the way from Legoland back to Orlando. And I used to catch rides. That's what I used to try to do every day is I would try to catch a ride I would go park over at Legoland and I would try to catch a ride there going back to Orlando because then I'd go into Orlando and that's where I'd make most of my money.
Yes, she does, Mark. But at times it's hard doing Uber with a Tesla because at times you're using a supercharger multiple times a day, and that could put stress on the battery.
Yeah, but you got to remember too, like a couple of people I know that have Teslas, the maintenance is a lot lower on those than a gas powered car. It's way less maintenance. Granted, you are limited because of the electric part factor of it, but the maintenance on the vehicles are a lot less than a gas powered car. Like if you ask AZ David, he'll tell you the most maintenance he ever has to do on his Tesla is usually just brakes and tires every so often. But
Until it
that's
comes
about
time
it.
to replace his battery, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean
Is it-
that's always the case, but I mean it's like I said, the few people I know that have Teslas that drive them, they don't really have a lot of issues with them. For the
Because
most
I've heard
part,
it's
so.
There shouldn't be that much
10,000
maintenance on them.
I've
but
heard
just-
10,000 to 20,000 for
Well,
a
you gotta-
battery.
Yeah, but you're also talking about a Tesla that's $130,000 though too. Think about it. If you buy a $20,000 car and the engine goes out, how much you gonna pay for a new engine? Probably around $5,000. It's about the same. I mean, if you do it by proportion.
5
But
to
I mean,
20. Yeah.
if you can afford to get a $130,000 car, I mean, I don't know if a $20,000 battery is really gonna break your bank.
Oh, but if the car's not worth 20,000, putting a $20,000 battery may not be worth it.
Well, it all depends.
Yeah.
But there's a lot less moving parts in a Tesla is my whole point though. That's why they're less
Yeah.
maintenance. You know, with the gas powered engine, there's a lot more moving parts that can break.
Yeah, but you end up spending $20,000 to $30,000 more just for a vehicle. Then if you got to go down the road and spend another $20,000 for a battery, that's a lot of money.
I'm like Ron. I would go gas all the way.
Yeah, but you know, there's a big plan that you're not going to be able to buy gasoline.
Freaking Tim.
They won't
Confessions
go
of
there.
stealing things from the hospital.
Hey,
They
all the
won't go
things saying that they're all going back to gas engines.
Yep. That's why I hope it stays that way. But there's, you know, the radicals in Congress here are pushing to eliminate the sale of gasoline, period.
Well, that's certain
Oregon
states that are doing that.
parts of Oregon State are thinking of banning gas motors. Like if you're a landscaper or a lawn guy, banning your use of gas equipment like mowers.
Well, like I said, that's certain states. It's not nationwide though.
New Jersey was just considering it as well.
They can consider it all they want. I mean, unless they have the infrastructure that can support it, it ain't viable.
Just because it's not viable doesn't mean Congress won't try it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't.
Or state
disagree with you
legislature.
there.
They'll talk about it for how long?
But like where I live in Florida, dude, the regulations here on vehicles are just there's almost non-existent. I mean, you pay $30 a year to register your car, and that's it. There is no emissions. You can have your car straight pipe. They don't give a shit. Like there's really no regulations on how you can run your vehicle.
The only thing you cannot do in South Carolina that I know of is have the Carolina squat for the back of the car is lower than the front.
Oh God, yeah, don't get me started on that.
I know,
stupid
but
shit.
that's the one thing that I know of that you cannot do now.
Yeah, they made that illegal.
Is that where
And
you
they
live?
just
Is that where you live, South Carolina?
yeah, near Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, I think North Carolina's about to ban that too, if I'm not mistaken.
About
they
the same
haven't
time
already.
as they both talked about it at the same time. North Carolina did it, and then South Carolina did it, and South Carolina's just went into effect as of Saturday morning.
It's like the people that cam their wheels out on their car. Stupid as shit. They ride on like an inch of tread. Like how many tires do they go through? You know how much stress you're putting on your sidewalls driving like that? Like, that's just insane.
Crazy. Well, hey guys,
So-
I'm gonna get things to do, get ready for work tomorrow. So
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it anyway.
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody in the chat. We'll see you again soon.
Later, guys.
We'll see you.
Hey, Ron, tell your buddy, thank him for his service.
Oh, yep, we'll do. Yep. Alrighty, guys.
All right, we'll see you.